Hello everybody and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns, broadcasting the Elite to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup 2022. We've got Group AF for you today. It's Zeke Highwind versus Dr. Earworm. Commentating for us, we have Zaruvian and TJ Joel, and tracking for us is Royal with Cheese. Say hello everybody.
Well, hello out there.
Hey everybody, welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns.
So as you can see, we don't have anything to fill in on the stats page right now, but between me and TJ Joel, I'd say we know Zeke Highwind pretty well. Wouldn't you say so, TJ?
Yeah, I would say so. I think we've all raced with and against many times and know what Zeke's capable of.
No secret that Zeke has been around the block a few times. Cross Keys Tournament, Randomizer League for A Link to the Past. One game out, these two were paired up this past season. I had the pleasure of being his teammate the year before. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Zeke's a great teammate and great runner, great friend, so it's great to have him around. Dr. Earworm, kind of newer on the scene, very solid runner. Looking forward to this match. This should be a good one.
When I first met Dr. Earworm, he was just learning how to play cross keys. Now he's starting to play cross keys with the best of pretty much anyone in a satellite community that involves anybody on this restream. So I wouldn't count him out in any key sanity mode. And, well, I think that segues into what we've got on the docket for us tonight.
Yeah, it looks like we have the tournament keys mode going on here. I'm sure both of these runners are very happy to see that. So this should be great. I wonder which order they're going to get and what the curveballs the seed's going to throw at them.
Yeah, a little funny stuff that we have going on with the key sanity mode that we are running both in the main tournament and in the Challenge Cup this year.
Yeah, the variety going into both tournaments for the runners is great. You know, you're not knowing what you're going to get until just before when the seed's rolled. So you got to practice a little bit of everything, and you know, you're going to find what you excel at and what maybe is the weaker form, and then hope that the dice rolls your way.
So it is a good open key sanity 7-7 defeat Ganon with one little caveat. This is a mode that puts the Castle Tower keys in their vanilla positions, and the Ganon's Tower big key will be in Ganon's Tower.
Sure, both of our runners aren't going to complain about that, knowing that those are some of the ones that you've always got to dig really far for.
All right, and we're off, and we've got an immediate route split. Zeke deciding Sanctuary is a good place to start, and we're going to see the Uncle start from Dr. Earworm, and of course, first checks for both runners, just a little bit of pocket change.
I'm going to send them on their way, you know, lead up towards those hopefully early bombs if you have to buy them, but you know, they'd rather find them somewhere along the way.
Looks like the Tier 1 tree pull is not any help for us here in that search for the oh-so-important bombs. And not much for the pockets, either.
Yeah, definitely would have been hoping for a little bit more. Dr. Earworm pulling the map for Eastern. So a little bit of information early, never a problem. And was that a Quake Medallion on Lumberjack Ledge on Zeke's side?
That it would be. And, well, it's a little too early to tell, but it's possible we might be looking at an Aghanim seed.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Dr. Earworm's side, noticing the uncle had the small key to Hera, so, you know, that is one that you'd like to see long before you get near it, so runners are going to be happy about that one.
Alrighty, with the Uncle checks out of the way, Dr. Earworm's probably going to follow in Zeke's footsteps here, so Zeke finding 20 bucks in the ground says, I'm leaving that there, and there's some bombs for us.
That's nice to see. Walls are going to disappear, and we're going to get a bunch of stuff really fast here, so let's see where the seed's going to send these runners.
One thing to keep an eye on here, Dr. Earworm is not going to peek at Lumberjack at this point, but there are plenty of times where you might consider doing so later.
Yeah, maybe the seed will play into Dr. Earworm's favor and have to climb the mountain the normal way without a flute, and that's a good time to root it in there. Or at any point with boots.
course, Kakariko Village, the first of many mechas of a bunch of checks for our runners here. 5 here, 5 in the well. If you happen to amass 100 rupees, you can buy a bottle. I mean an item.
Yeah, well, we can buy something. Blindside here,
wow.
loaded. Wow.
So we got a Bombos medallion, you got some flippers, so we're going swimming. And to make matters even sweeter, there's the hook shot and 300 bucks. Okie dokie.
Yeah, that's something. It's definitely going to give you a nudge one direction or the other.
It's also going to mean we're not going to be leaving behind this bottle merchant check on our way through. But that's not all. We have 5 more in here.
Yeah, so far a little slow. Let's see what the next 3 have for Zeke here. Wow.
Oh, what is this seed trying to tell us here with the hammer, the hook shot, and the flippers all in one spot?
Yeah, this is definitely a start. Runners are not going to complain about this, but they are going to scratch your head a bit at first and go, where do I go? And the Moon Pearl Lock Bottle Vendor. Wow.
If you've ever seen a classic Stackerico, blink, you'll see it again with this seed. One thing to note here, we did also get our first Palace of Darkness key. There's a lot of things you can do with a couple of pod keys in your inventory, but that's something to keep an eye on for later, because there are some logical tells that can be had in Key Sanity based on how many keys you might find.
Yeah, most definitely when it comes to pod. You've got to think about how many keys you've got, when do you actually go, or do you wait a bit? There's another one in the back of Tavern. Interesting start.
Zeke Hyman is going to go ahead and look at the race game item, but he doesn't have any bombs, so we will probably not see him pick it up. And that's a key sitting in the library, so we don't know if that key is anything of import just yet.
Okay, bottle sitting there as well. That's good to note.
And interestingly enough, Zeke decided he wants nothing to do with the bottle.
Yeah, going to just, I guess, move on to other places and then maybe worry about it if we have to come back for the key or if things start getting a little bit less dense.
I feel like he's probably thinking, there's 3 other bottles out there. I can route in the sick kid check anytime I want.
Yeah, that seems like a fair assumption at this point, I would think.
But also believe that Dr. Earworm's going to go ahead. He's going to blind check this, so he'll grab the bottle. I think he just turns around and goes straight to the sick kid right away.
Yeah, I would agree. In Dr. Earworm's place, like, there's no better time than just to get it done right now. You're already here. You don't have boots to get that key. Nothing's pulling you back here right away. Why not? Zeke going for a swim here. He's going to show us what's with the man under the bridge. So let's see what the hobo has for us.
Ooh, that's interesting. So we're only 6 minutes in. We were already sitting on 3 Palace of Darkness small keys, which is just enough to get to the back in Logic.
Yeah, definitely interesting start. And I mean, only a glove away from Dark World access. Got to start thinking about it, I guess.
Ooh, now Zeke might want to reconsider when he goes back to the bottle check, because Sick Kid has just handed the key to Swamp Palace to Dr. Earworm.
That's interesting. Dr. Earworm's side with the early routing with the castle, grabbing the Harris Small, and now the Swamp Small off the bottle check. You know, both of those keys that are only one of them out there, a little bit harder to find. That's nice to see early.
I wouldn't be too worried about that Harris Small just yet. Still plenty to think about before we're talking Mountain here. But that Swamp Small, we've seen the Sick Kid actually kill runs for players. Oh, hello, flute.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Right now, fast travel.
Now we can get around. But I mean, yeah, definitely sick kid. We've all left something there at least once or twice. That's for sure.
The other thing that flute does, we don't have a fire source to chase that Hera small key yet, but we can still go to the boss of Hera with that hammer and that hook shot just by performing a Hera pot here.
Yeah, definitely everything opening up with that flute. I mean, now we have a whole plethora of checks up on the mountain, but still so much down here. It'll be interesting to see which way the runners take it.
I'd be curious to see where our first glove is going to land.
Yeah, things are really wide open. Could be just about anywhere right now.
All right, with at least 500 I almost said keys, 500 rupees in inventory here, Zeke is going to go for another swim. And I would imagine this is going to go all the way to Zora.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Oh, wow. Dr. Earworm finding the fire rod in Nagina's cave.
And speaking about items in bad spots, now that's a fire rod all the way down in the desert area, and that's kind of isolated even for Sphere 1.
Yeah, you've really just gotta, if you're playing or hoping the runners, if you're rooting for Zeke at this point, hope that he activates the flute and goes out there. Fastest way there, probably. The seed's really opening up fast early. I'm really excited to see where all these keys end up falling.
Lucky part about that flute, though, is Agina's cave really isn't more than a flute to 6 away. The question is when you decide to make that call. And honestly, so too for the sick kid.
Yeah, definitely. Looks like Zeke might be heading for the sick kid now for that bottle.
Yeah, now that he has bombs in hand and a flute back to Kakariko is faster than a walk back, this could actually, save the whole conversation. When do you go back to the lazy kid? Right now.
Yeah, definitely. Just get it done and see what he's got, see what he's hiding. As we know, it's a swamp small, so Zeke will be happy to see that one. It's like Dr. Earworm heading to activate the flute as well. Interested to see if it takes it right up the mountain or head somewhere else with it.
This is one where the openness of the light world kind of lends to, there's a lot of places and a lot of ways you can route yourself into a corner.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of things could get left or try to wait till later to maybe combine with a mirror from Dark World side, depending where the glove is.
Yeah, and right now, no real strong pull in any one direction other than maybe the mountain.
Yeah, you've got to wonder when the runners are going to think about heading up there, grabbing the 7 checks, plus, Spiral Cave into Hera, and then heading into Hera as well.
Well, as I said, Agina's cave is only a quick flute to 6 away, so we are going to see Zeke pick up his fire rod in just a moment.
Yeah, definitely nice to see for Zeke as well. Going to be interesting to see Zeke without the Hera Small currently though, so wondering if Zeke will think about Castle before heading up the hill.
We're going to see our first set of flippers checks from Dr. Earworm. There's the ice rod. Now hold on just a second.
Yeah, this is getting interesting,
All too often you'll hear someone out there probably thinking in their head, now where's that free ice rod when I'm playing? Well, apparently right here it's in Sphere 2.
Only if it was there more often for everybody. I'm sure it wouldn't become such a problematic item.
So now everyone else is also thinking in their head, well, the ice rod is free, so Turtle Rock must be a pendant. And I say, now hold on for a second. We don't know any of our prizes yet.
Yeah, definitely. I think we've only seen the one map. We haven't had a check yet. Zora not having much here, but key on the ledge, so we'll see what it is on Dr. Earworm's side as Zeke's showing us Paradox.
Seven checks sitting up here at Paradox Key. That is our 4th pod small.
Wow.
What is happening?
This seed's definitely nudging in one direction here. Oh wow. Mirror up there, our second bottle.
Something that Zeke didn't do, Dr. Earworm is taking to right now. Gonna go ahead and rescue the old man so that we get this spawn point instead of having to pause after respawn to go flute up here anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to have it up here. Save a little bit of flute time, just saving quite up if you need to get up here, but also see what the old man's got on him if it's anything that we need to progress. Well, we're going to need that at some point, so, or perhaps, so that's not a bad grab there on Dr. Earworm's side.
Definitely one you want to have before you go into Thieves Town for the first time.
Yeah, it makes that call going in there, even if it's a pendant, it makes that call going in there just that much easier when you have the big key. Looks like Zeke's going to show us a handy little piece of tech here and do a hair pot and head up to the top.
Yeah, you miss it once with only 2 or 3 hearts. That's one of those, well, I guess I'll just take the warp and try it again moments.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see how it goes this.
And meanwhile, we're going to see Dr. Earworm pick up his mirror. And a couple other little odds and ends up here in Paradox Cave. I think Zeke is just a tile to the right on this parapod attempt.
Yeah, I was about to ask you if you've seen that particular setup before. I know there's plenty for it, but I wasn't quite familiar with that one, if it was something that I just hadn't seen before.
He's got the right idea. Normally you're facing the other direction. So if it's something you haven't used in a while, then it's easy to forget.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, a lot of the times, I mean, seats have been pretty generous at certain points. You come up here, you've got the boots, it's quick.
And he's got it.
There we go. Go, perfect. 1 heart, grab a fairy, keep on moving through the dungeon here. Well, it's, you know, they found both boomerangs already, so 1 mission accomplished. Dr. Earworm following behind here, heading into Hera now. Be interested to see if Dr. Earworm grabs the map for the info here that Zeke skipped.
I would expect that you do this early. you want to get as much information as you can. That tells us whether or not we need to do mire, for example.
Yeah, definitely good information to note.
And Mulderworm goes down for Zeke Highwind. Let's see what he's got for us today. We get forced into a map to Dark Palace. And that is our first crystal, everybody.
Yeah, 17 minutes, 35 seconds in. That's got to feel good for Zeke. I'm interested to see what this Hera basement turns out to be here. Zeke not having the key coming through here.
What I'm thinking that could be really bad here is the first and only glove in Light World.
Yeah, that could be that could definitely be something here that'd be slightly detrimental for a little bit because there's so many other things to do.
Of course, having this mirror means you can very easily just drop down, check out what's in Spectacle Rock Cave, mirror back on up, and drop through Spiral Cave instead.
Looked like Pod was a crystal, but I wasn't 100% sure when I caught it.
Pretty sure that said Crystal 3. Now that's interesting. It's Akina Burna sitting in Hera Basement. So by no means necessarily required, but it is a logical tell if Spike Cave comes into play later on.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely, I mean, we're only short a little bit from doing Spike Cave now.
And all we really need right now is a glove. Otherwise, it's fully available.
Zeke, of course, walking through everybody's cave to walk through without boots.
It's the Resident Sleeper Cave. You sit hypnotized by how long of a walk this is that you fall asleep. There's your glove, everybody. We have Dark World access.
That's nice to see. Now, do we chase all these keys into Pod? Which way is Zeke going to take this?
Zeke might be thinking about... This is interesting. We might be just going ahead to try to pull a sword and take care of Moth.
Yeah, 2 Skullwoods keys, you know. Moth not technically in logic till the 3rd one, but definitely not a bad idea.
Skullwood's one of those dungeons where the key's logic is merely just a guideline, not necessarily a rule to follow.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what Skullwoods is going to have in here for Zeke, and then after Dr. Earworm grabs the glove, let's see where they head.
Yeah, still no shortage of options here. You do the you do the Hype Cave start and have a fun time with that. And that could be either fully loaded or completely empty, depending on your point of view.
Yeah, hype or disappointment, never in between.
We're going to see the back of Escape from Dr. Earworm before anything else here, and I think I like this call.
Yeah, definitely not a bad call. Get over here, get it done before you go any further, get pushed away from it, and then maybe not get back to it for a long while.
And it's a heck of a way to go when a Ropa just jumps over your hammer.
Yep, the sprite just wasn't tall enough to catch it, I guess. Looks like it's going to change Zeke's idea and send him towards Hype Cave at this point, though.
And just like that, we have converged again.
Yeah, both runners heading the same place. Dr. Irwin's map checks let us know that Eastern is also a crystal, so we are definitely hard hunting bows.
Oh, Disappointment Cave, and how are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna take your 2 bombs and send you away with Heartbreak.
Nothing left but pieces. Oh, is this what I think it is? Oh, we're doing this. We're doing 4 Heart Green Male Swamp Palace.
Yeah, I like this play though.
Oh, I would do this in a heartbeat. This is the game gave you everything you need to go and take 9 of those 10 checks at a swamp. At what point would you ever tell it no?
Exactly, especially when it's throwing all this at you, and I mean, it's throwing you a bunch of pod keys, pod's just around the corner, you head there next.
Chat soliciting my opinion. Do I want the bow in Pod's U room? I mean, I'd prefer the bow in my hands before I'm even in Pod. But that's just me.
I'd have to agree with you on that one, Ruby. You know, maybe if it can't be in Pod's U room and not in your hands, maybe in Swamp, and then you have it before you head there.
You just pull a sword, a bow, maybe a cane or something at a swamp. Oh, it's just free lamp sitting on the pyramid ledge.
There you go, see your way in the dark, you know, makes you think more about those dark rooms in Pod. And, you know, who doesn't love lamp?
Yeah, it's like you're in the dark world, and the first thing you get to say is, I love lamp.
Dr. Irwin taking advantage of being here with that mirror, going to get Dark Cross done. Not a bad play as well.
Yeah, in just a couple of moments, he's going to have fully cleaned out Hyrule Castle, which means that small key is of little consequence and probably not a key you want to see on this seed. Now that moment for, if I could have literally any other key than the Hyrule Castle key, and that's what the game gives you.
Yeah, definitely. And then sends you all the way to Dark Cross for a shield. Good times.
You get to that point where people are like, wait, a shield? Put it back! I don't want it.
Where's the discard option?
What do you mean I can't just put it back in the chest? Oh, where's my last save again?
Or, you know, the other common way to do it, but, you know, waste time, kind of funny. Shields are for pickets.
Well, we're going to get the information that our crystal in our pocket belonged to Tower of Hera at some point in its previous lifespan. And Zeke is going straight for the left side here. We're going to see a little bomb diver down. Or no, actually, he's just going to go ahead and... This is actually pretty heads up. Be mindful that you're in low HP, and most things in here will do at least a heart of damage. Argus is going to do 2.
Yeah, this is really heads up play. Save what hearts you can, go through, just do it the normal way.
Since we're talking about low percent, how would you like to hear that a sword is the only thing keeping you from logical Mothula?
Yeah, definitely. It looks like it could be a good time for these runners if they end up getting pushed that way.
Of course, you're not going to use that fighter sword on Moth, right? Not when you've got a perfectly good fire rod, a green potion, and a hammer.
Yeah, definitely. Don't want to sit there and spin at them. If you can hit them with a hammer, use up all that fire rod, why not?
Oh, the hook through a block swag from Zeke. You know, if you feel like you're always going to get it, why not? Show off a little bit. Have some fun. That's why we're all here, right?
Exactly. We're all here for some fun. It's nice to see. Interesting. There's the Speed Small as well.
Talking about things you'd rather have before you're in a place. Well, I'd rather not have that at all, to be honest.
Yeah, and things you don't want to see, all in the same in left side swamp.
I'll take items that make me shake my head for 400, please.
What is the book?
Nope. Yeah, in this mode, I do like knowing what's sitting in desert, what's sitting on my tablets, what could possibly be waiting in chat's favorite location in the whole game.
Yes, this is true. Having some information's better than nothing, especially in a key sanity mode.
And Doc's got some information that, would probably give Zeke a little bit of pause here, if he already knew this. We now have the map to swamp on the right side here.
Yeah, with that information might have changed your thought before coming in here, so that's definitely interesting. Wonder if it'll sway Doc's choice one way or the other.
I never thought of it this way. You drain the water and you just come back down this staircase.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. I've never thought of doing it this way. Well done.
Oh, you're only coming through this hallway once. Now, unless this next check is a sword, Zeke's going to have a little bit of item shuffling to do here. Yep.
Hopefully the menuing is kind to Zeke for this battle.
Yeah, good old-fashioned swordless style menu boss, Argus. 5 hearts, green mail, nothing but a hammer to hit him with. You could use your fire rod, but that's... only have 16 shots, and there's a good, 12 puffs, I think, on Argus?
Yeah, something like that. Looks like we're just going to switch to the hammer and go the tried and tested method when you don't have a sword. Dr. Earworm heading into swamp as well. Just interesting to see if left side becomes in the thought process there as well.
Yeah, so far, pretty smooth sailing here. A couple quick inputs every time you've hooked onto one of the Argai.
Yeah, progressing through it nicely here on Zeke's side.
Another thing we'll notice going through the menu like this, we haven't spoken to the bomb shop owner just yet. That Hera crystal happens to be red.
Didn't notice that. That's definitely very interesting.
So without knowledge as to where the other red crystal is yet, this could be it for all we know. I don't think it is, though. And
Yeah,
Zeke,
it'd be interesting to see where it falls. I have a weird feeling it may be Meyer.
Alright, we got some fried calamari. And a big key drops from Argus, and it is the big key to Eastern.
Well, that's definitely interesting to see. Definitely making you wonder where the stick and twine's hiding.
Do a quick shout out to Animus United for joining us on a raid. Thank you. This is the Challenge Cup group stage round robin. Our first game between Zeke Highwind and Dr. Earworm out of Group AF.
Looks like the other 5-6 was sitting in Skull Woods, I believe, by that map check, so that's definitely interesting. We're just a sword away from that now.
A sword away from doing it, but not necessarily a sword away from it being in logic, since we still have to find that Hera big key before that's considerable. But you're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah, especially if you're over there, you're not going to wait on it too long.
Well then,
oh, there it is.
got a stumpy sword. Let's go.
Guess that makes you rethink that shovel on left side.
I think I'd still rather have the sword before I'm even going to Argus, but to each their own.
Agreed. Take what the seed gives, I guess. Dr. Earworm about to find the Thieves' Town small here, having the Thieves' Town big that's now in logic with the lamp find off Old Man. Gotta wonder when they think about heading there.
If I had to guess, the answer is probably right after Swamp.
Yeah, definitely. As well as if you run in that shovel and dig up that sword, definitely. Looks like Zeke's got a message here.
Zeke definitely likes saying hello when he's playing Dig Game. we have some choices. We have choices abound. We can go over to Pod without a bow, but plenty to do. We can go take care of Moth. That's probably the port of call here.
Yeah, it looks like that's where Zeke's heading. Get the Moth done, get Skullwoods out of the way, grab that other 5-6 crystal.
And quietly, Dr. Earworm making his way through Swamp Palace. He does employ the Bomb Diver down. He does have a couple extra hit points over Zeke at this moment in time. 7 hearts is to 5. Might make you a little more comfortable to attempt something that's going to steal a heart of damage every time you try it.
Yeah, definitely going to influence the decision here. And I mean, everything's dropping hearts and fairies. It fills back up, and you just keep on moving.
Now, Zeke's already done the check in the middle of Skullwoods. So he can go get all 3 items, 4 items, pardon me, in the front here, if he wants. No? Okay, I guess we're doing back to front Skullwoods here.
I guess that makes sense. Get the Moth done, get the check done, finish out the front, then see which way you go, or just head down towards Village of Outcast.
And Doc is gonna give Argus a little taste of his hammer. Having an extra item in the way, meaning it's a 3-tick swap over.
Yeah, a little bit extra time on the menu, but Doc handling the fight well here. Just taking the R guy down one at a time, slow and steady.
It's the tried and true method. Meanwhile, the bridge chest in Skullwoods for us yields today more pocket change.
Both runners with more money than you'd ever could want in a seat at this point.
I think both having visited Zora. No, actually, Zeke hasn't been to Zora yet.
Yes, Zeke has not been up that way yet, but I'm sure we'll head there, especially with that mirror, grab it in with Catfish.
It's just funny to think about how only half an hour ago we were already talking about just how many keys to Palace of Darkness were just popping up for us here. Now that, half of the dungeon is actually fully available, neither runner's taking the bait.
Yeah, trying to hold it a little bit longer, maybe waiting for a bow. Try to get it all done.
And Zeke wants to hammer Moth, although he has gone straight to the sword for spins too. This is perfectly fine if you want to try to play keep away without worrying about that hammer's wonky hitbox.
Yeah, it definitely can cause a little bit of issues, especially upward left. Argus down on dockside and looks like heading towards that shovel check. Stumpy, K45.
Little defensive poke there, and Moth is taken care of. Well done, Zeke.
Well done. Nice fight. And interesting. Wonder how aware Zeke is. I'm sure that he is. That's both 5/6 crystals already. I mean, one out of logic, but still in your possession.
And Doc is literally following the same path that Zeke just took after doing his Swamp House himself. So nothing new for us to look at here until we see the furthest spellwoods from Zeke. And still wondering, where some of our keys are at. We have basically nothing to work with that we know of thus far.
No, we have those ones for Pod. We have Doc with both keys to Thieves Town, so we may see that a little bit sooner on that side as opposed to Zeke's side.
The other one that really stands out to me, though, is that Eastern Big Key, which could easily be combined with Pod.
Yeah, a lot of checks and logic over there. Definitely could be the bow to, go further into one and finish the other. Zeke just moving through here. Looks like we saw the Thieves Town map, so wonder if Zeke will have a look at that or just head that way maybe.
Outside of that, though, the majority of Skullwood's having not a lot to work with here. There is still one check to think about later on if we do need to come back with that big key to get something out of that chest just waiting in the middle.
Yeah, definitely will stick in the back of your mind if, push comes to shove and things get a little bit tighter down the road on keys or checks, so interesting to see if that becomes a factor. Zeke finding the first Mire Small that we've seen in the seed so far in C-shaped house.
Meyer, yet another one of those dungeons that you may find the keys to enter, but you don't necessarily need them.
Yeah, if it happens to be a crystal, you're only worried about one of them.
So let's talk about that Quake medallion sitting up on the lumberjack for a second. As we see now, Zeke has pulled the other two medallions in our path here.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting here. Wonder if we have it or if it's not going to play in. Of course, TR happens to be a pendant, which is, as you said earlier, find an early ice rod, that's usually what happens.
Oh, look at the sync on these two. Difference is, Zeke knows this is a pendant dungeon. This is actually the green pendant. So completing this for Dr. Earworm is going to give him an extra check at Spakatu.
Yeah, definitely something.
Unfortunately, Zeke does not currently have the big keys. Waiting on the mountain with Gary Oldman. We've got some pretty nice loot out of just the front, so I don't think Zeke's going to be too unhappy.
No, you're never going to turn down a sword.
If you're planning on finishing the dungeon, and you've got a free item in the King Burner for that blind fight, seeing half magic wouldn't make you very happy either if you're Dr. Earworm.
Yeah, it's definitely going to make the job a lot easier if you're going to, at this point, finish it all out. And a French vanilla mint. Look at that.
Pardon me. Why is that there?
Seed's got some slight jokes. Now where do we go with everything we can look at?
Well, now that we have mitts, we have plenty to think about. As if we didn't already have enough to think about, right?
Yeah, there's definitely no shortage on options here, that's for sure, for the runners.
And immediately Zeke's going to take on a Smith chain here. And have a leg up on these couple checks.
Yeah, not having a Thieves Town big, this makes a lot of sense. Work this down, get this purple chest out of the way, and then maybe head to the Pod Eastern area.
I mean, knowing where your 3 pendants are? Well, Zeke knows about Turtle Rock if he peeks at his map. I would say you even have a look at the Mire area. Check out Mire, look at the desert, get those couple checks out of the way there. Because if Mire says Quake, you know what's up for you on the seed.
Yeah, definitely good to try to get the knowledge earlier you think of it. Are Smiths making compasses today? I'm not sure if that's the greatest thing to hit with a hammer.
I'd almost say you'd probably break it.
Yeah, it'd be a bit beyond bending at that point. Mirror, flute. Is there any better way to do Smith chain?
Yeah, I'm not doing it at all.
That's fair.
So to be fair, though, you follow the items that the game gave you in front of you. It's going to give you a pair of French vanilla mitts and Thieves Town. The first thing you're going to think about is, oh, I'm right here. You do Smith chain. Why not?
Yeah, because otherwise you really don't ever want to come back.
So far, the back of Thieves Town hasn't yielded anything for us here, and uh-oh.
Yeah, that's now definitely a call
I
one way or
couldn't
the
tell what
other.
that looked like.
I think it was Bombos. And there's the bow. So Zeke pulling the bow, finding a shield and checkerboard. Gonna say no to that one. Stock's moving on here. See if we can stay on script, take blind down. So far, so good. Moving on through.
Now, I didn't get a good look at the medallion requirement sitting on Mire.
It wasn't great on this end either, but I thought it may have been Bombos. But if someone saw it better and can confirm, that'd be great. Blind down on Doc's side as well. Green pendant in hand.
I like this. So you follow the bow. You have a fully clearable Eastern. You've got plenty of checks to make in pod, with or without the lamp. If the big key is in any of these areas up ahead, it's just your 2 crystals in the bag.
Yeah, definitely it'll be work out well if everything just falls into line here. See, clearing out the back of Saha here. Gonna go visit everybody's monkey and make his donation.
I didn't realize the path to Palace of Darkness had to be a toll road. There aren't even any roads here. What are you paying for?
Yeah, and it's not like Kiki's protecting you from the enemies either. It's really weird.
See, is this why there's always money in the banana stand?
Unless you burn it down.
Alright, Zeke has 3 of the 4 known pod keys. That's still plenty to take care of pretty much everything in this dungeon that isn't Helmasaur. You'll skip out on the 6 key checks, unless you decide to indiscriminately go look at one, or you find a key in here.
Yeah, and we all know that game does like to do that one from time to time.
So strike that. We're going to go take care of Eastern first. While Doc's making his play for Skullwoods, and he's got a Master Sword, so this will be a little bit more comfortable for him.
Yeah, a little bit more health, Master Sword. That half magic as well. I hadn't noticed that was the first one of those we found. Zeke with one small to GT. Hopefully we don't need to use any of them, but...
Yeah, you'd like to go in with 1 or 2 keys and just find the big key in Hope Room and not have to dig around. You can clear most of GT's basement with just 2 keys if you route it correctly. Or, you know, you leave Eastern Palace with just 2 keys and...
Yeah, or they're just all here.
Yeah, half magic fire rod is a thing of beauty when you're going through the back of Skullwoods. Just burn everything down in your path.
Yep, just turn it into a blink and you miss it kind of dungeon. Doc's going to fight Moth here. Combination of Sword Slashes, Fire Rod. Shouldn't be too much of a problem here for him.
Especially not with that half magic to supplement the Fire Rod. Normally it's 1 whole magic meter to take care of Mothula with Fire Rod alone. Now he's got plenty to work with to try to manipulate Moth, just get out of the corners or otherwise take damage when he's in a bind with spikes coming from either side. I don't think he's used that green potion we got early on either.
No, I think still sitting on it.
And Moth wasn't being very cooperative, but that is another crystal down for Dr. Earworm.
Yeah, the other half of the 5/6 on Dr. Earworm's side. Excuse me. And Zeke moving on through Eastern here, heading to the vanilla big key chest.
From Zeke's point of view, if he gets anything here, he might think this is a sequence break. It's nothing important, but we do have that lamp sitting on the pyramid. And Doc opting to walk out of Skullwoods. I don't think he didn't do the front on his way through, right? So back to front.
Yeah, started at the vanilla big key chest and went through. So. Zeke taking full advantage of that fire rod and the torch, you know, light it up in there before the enemies move around and mess you up.
Sometimes it's really important to know where those Popo decide to wiggle to in case they decide to directly block one of your arrows. It's even worse when you get hit and you have no idea where you are anymore.
Yeah, that's always one of the treats of that room for sure. Alright, Zeke moving on to the Armos Knights here.
Just 1 arrow short, so that makes this a little bit more interesting. And he recovers it and gets a big key for his trouble. This one goes to TR. Ugh.
Ew, yeah, don't want to see that one. Part of me was kind of hoping that was going to be the pod big key. I definitely was thinking about it.
That would be the dream, wouldn't it?
Definitely be worth a laugh for sure.
And then I believe now would be the time to step into pod and see what these 3 keys have been telling us to come get all along.
Yeah, definitely wonder what's in here in pod. Wondering if this mirror check to Graveyard Ledge on Dockside is going to yield anything as well.
Graveyard Ledge, one of those checks you might see players skip for a good long while. Today, just a piece of heart. Tomorrow could be the Cane of Samaria. The only problem that this does is we've now pretty much isolated that King's Tomb check as well. Though easy to get back to once you have boots, you just spawn at the Sanctuary.
Yeah, it definitely works out if you're going to end up having to put it back in later, but as you said, it'd be nice if you could combine them all, but we're still missing an important piece of footwear. Maybe we get a better look on Dockside here of this Meyer medallion.
And that is a confirmation that it is Bombos. Lumberjack's Quake Medallion is going to sit right where it is until we're basically in, oh gosh, what am I missing mode, and then suddenly you think about Turtle Rock being your last place.
Yeah, and then you're slightly unhappy about it. Doc picking up the bow. Oh, I heard you like more fetch quests. Book and blue mail on right side. That's interesting.
Hey, the blue mail is really nice to have, just for the sake of a little bit of extra safety. That book, on the other hand, I would not be jumping with joy to see that.
No, not at this point. Not when you've already been in Hera, you've done Swamp. I mean, you'd have to route it in, maybe heading to open up Desert, but you're hoping you just mirror in there? You know what I mean?
I mean, at this point, you absolutely mirror in a desert. There's no reason not to.
No.
Well then.
Interesting.
We're up to three GT keys.
Hiley Island on Dockside here. Just a hard piece. Nice palace play?
This could be. I think he's gonna head up to check the man under the bridge instead. Which makes sense, because then you can just flute wherever you want to go from here.
Yeah, makes good sense. Zeke setting up for hammering up here. Executed. So far, just a whole lot of money back here. Wonder what the other checks back here is going to have for us.
So I believe the words that I would use for this are nothing doing.
Yeah, definitely. Not a lot going on in there except for that book.
So to answer a question in chat, in this version of Key Sanity being run both in the main tournament and the Challenge Cup tournament, we are running open keys 7-7 with the Castle Tower keys in their original positions in the tower and the Ganon's Tower big key in Ganon's Tower. Every other key is fair game. It can be anywhere. And we find out that the green pendant is logically required.
That is 5 pod smalls on Dockside. Wow.
Say hi to Parker the Panda coming in with a raid group. Thanks for joining us on this Challenge Cup race.
Welcome in, Raiders.
This has to be 5-6 now, right?
That's the only reason I can see Zeke fluting back here at this point is to go get that done. Grab the check Pyramid into Catfish towards Zora area.
Yeah, this is a nice, thick, broad stroke of a route. You take 5, 6, you can do Hyrule Castle, because Zeke has not done the castle yet. With Uncle, because Zeke hasn't done Uncle yet. With the lamp on the pyramid ledge, go up to Catfish, and then mirror back for Waterfall, and then go to Zora. That sounds like a trip.
Yeah, it's a lot of checks up here, all in one shot. It's really nice how that fell into routing for the way that Zeke's gone through the seed so far.
Yeah, this is one of those situations of not leaving a stone unturned, except deliberately to come back and turn it over later.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you know, at some point you got to start thinking about it not being really nudged any particular direction here, especially after Zeke's dip into Pod.
Yeah, Pod having not really yielded us anything kind of throws a whole wrench in the, okay, now what?
Interesting. Nothing there either.
And to this point, we still don't know at what point Tower of Hera falls into the logic, so it's possible that could never have been anything. If the logical go mode is Hera Big Key.
Yeah, definitely.
I think this key might push Zeke back up the mountain, though.
Yeah, especially with the tablet available as well, and of course, Shot Cave, Super Bunny, all the things we haven't seen up there.
So Doc is making his way through this dark room of Eastern, but you'll see it's not dark. Lamp might not be an item that's most coveted by runners, but I will say, it does make your dark rooms much faster.
Yeah, any of them at all, but you know, especially when you start thinking about Dark Mire. Zeke's going all the way back to Dark Cross. Wonder what Zeke's going to think about what he finds back there.
Oh, I'm sure he'll show us. He's got a pretty definitive idea of what he thinks about this coming check.
Can't say that I disagree. I think that's a great thing to do with that.
That's a perfectly good waste of a perfectly good bomb, man. Come on. What did the shield ever do to you?
Blocked looking at my sprite.
That's fair, honestly. That's completely fair. Whereas you visibly skip a shield and then you get forced into one. It doesn't feel great.
That's for sure. Or if you get forced into all three because they come off bosses, that's always fun as well.
So Dr. Earworm also trying to set up for that quick kill on Armos Knights. Unfortunately, gets bopped by one of them, so let's see if he can recover this, and we get an Enraged Knight. It happens sometimes. You're never happy to have it happen, but it does happen.
Yeah, definitely can get in there, you know, just one little touch. Moves a little bit quicker than you're expecting, and then you're playing cleanup.
You shoot 4 arrows, you shoot 6 arrows, you don't even get an arrow off because you get hitboxed right into him off the bat. Now, Dr. Earworm has 5 pod keys, so he's going to be able to do everything except for the big chest and Helmasaur. Which means we might see whether or not that 6th key lingering out there somewhere is something that we really want, if we're playing this logically. .
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the extra keys turn into anything in here on Doc's side. Meanwhile, Zeke's continuing this whole big loop of checks here.
Yeah, next stop, the Catfish Express. A one-way ticket to, well, gee, thanks.
Yeah, gonna get the map, go up, sure, take it to Zora, everything else, get that extra key, grab that ice rod that you probably don't want to see.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
Why is that there? Well, I mean, we're still probably going to see Hammer Yump. Just because. But now you don't even have to. You do it from the top down and mirror back from the big chest anyway. Or, you know, not even bother with the big chest. Because you don't have the big key.
Yeah, just keep on going through and worry about big chest if you have to later down the road.
Yeah, that's the second time I've seen that today.
Really, that's something. This game's got some jokes, that's for sure. Zeke deciding, don't need a map. It's fine. Knows the pendants, why not? Doc
I'm curious, Zeke did throw that bee out of the bottle, and he hasn't used either well to see what free potion might be waiting.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Hadn't noticed that.
Alright, so Doc has everything but the big key lock stuff to do here in Pod. Which, as far as we know, is just one more check that we haven't seen Zeke do. Does anyone happen to know why the game does not let us hook onto that specific bush? I noticed that playing the other day, and Zeke just showed it to us again.
Yeah, I didn't know that that wasn't possible. That's really interesting.
Oh boy, look at this. The game giving you a fetch quest for the 6th pod key.
Game, just gift that keeps on giving. Alright, Zeke going to save the old man here, get that Thieves Town big, but see what else up on the mountain, see which way it pushes Zeke one way or the other. We're already knowing what was back there from Dr. Earworm doing it earlier.
Yeah, right now this check Zeke is doing literally only yields 1 pot small on the green pendant. You know, 1 hour in, and we're still looking for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting seed, especially the way it started out with the stack of Rico early and everything else. It's going to be great to see how this plays out in the end.
Little varying schools of thought going on here. Yeah, Doc is going straight for that ether check. Zeke is going up Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah, definitely both chasing things that haven't been done. Doc chasing that book. Looks like it's just some bombs at this point, but you know, it's definitely nice to get out of the way one way or the other while you're up here.
I mean, the real density is sitting over here on the east side of the Dark Mountain.
Yeah.
with these 6 checks available. Right now, we can't touch Turtle Rock even if we wanted to, unless Kane of Samaria shows up, and even then, it could be showing us Quake on the face.
Yeah, moment of truth here. Is he going to have a look for us? It is Ether, so if that red cane turns up, maybe right here in Hookshot Cave, do you go in?
2 keys and a big key, it'd be tempting.
Oh, there's the pod big. Oh, and the ice big. Isn't that nice?
I'd say, watch these all be big keys now, but no, it wasn't.
Zeke heading over here, going to clear up this stuff. Does Zeke do Hera Basement?
I think if you're up here committed to doing Ether and probably Spike Cave, with knowledge that it's more than likely in play here, you're probably doing Hera Basement, which would actually reinforce him doing Spike Cave.
Yeah, I think if you're at this point for either one of these runners, you're back up here. You're doing everything you possibly can now. Still need to nudge in one direction or the other.
What I'm curious about now is actually going to be Ice Palace.
Yeah, a lot of signs seem to be pushing that way. Zeke setting up a Herapod again?
I think Zeke's forgetting exactly which check he's trying to do here, because it's not up there that you have a key for, my friend. All right, Doc's going to show us Spike Cave. Okay, let's see if this Hera Basement play. Oh, he noticed. Thank goodness.
That was good. Nice to see that he noticed.
And Spike Cave with just another little bit of love for our runners here. So, once again, back to the drawing board, with the exception of now having the pod big key, you can go clean up Helmasaur.
Yeah, which way do you do this? Do you clean up Helmasaur first and then debate about going into Mire or Ice Palace? Or do you do one of those first, knowing that you're just going back for one item on Helma?
I know it's not a lot of checks, but did we see either runner even peek into Desert Palace?
No, neither runner's been there. So, yeah, it's definitely something to note, for sure.
Yeah, as you can see that can of burn on go.
Yeah, definitely. Off to everybody's favorite cave. Doc not wasting any time with that pod big. Head back here, take care of Helmasaur. Put another crystal in the books.
Yeah, not only just the crystal, but Helmasaur and the big chest are 2 items that are very much on the table here.
Yeah, just get pod completely done. Don't have to think about it. Looks like Zeke's following suit, flute, and then a quick switch to hammer.
It's the 4th GT small.
Wow, all in pod in Eastern area. Wow. Well, I guess if we have to dig GT, got everything we need to do it now.
Yeah, that could give you a hint as to just where the big key may be in GT. Key logic is a rather fickle thing in Ganon's Tower, but, you know, you'd rather have the keys than have to fuss about how you're going to clear everything out with one or two.
Yeah, it's better to throw caution to the wind when you have them all and just go.
So while we got these two making their runs at Halmasaur King, I'm just going to drop the runners command in chat. Make sure you follow our two participants in today's race, Zeke Highwind and Dr. Earworm.
Yeah, definitely putting on a great show for us and everybody watching. So yeah, definitely give them a follow. Two great players of the game.
And also give another nod to our broadcaster today, Ricky Kokiri, putting this on over here at Zelda Speedruns. TJ Jol joining me in the booth. Royale with Cheese, hitting all the buttons, letting us know what we haven't missed.
Yeah, keeping us in line, so we kind of try to remember what we're talking about. And of course, wouldn't be it if we didn't throw everybody out there and just throw my co-com out there as Ruby. And it's been a pleasure comming with you so far.
It's always a blast, and you know it.
Definitely.
Now, this one, I'm curious to see, is Zeke going to Harmless Hellway and never punished? Well, he already got the small key, so you only need 5 keys to clear this dungeon out. This is actually brilliant. So Zeke will probably never see that green pendant Thieves Town key if we find progression. And his thoughts on the Swamp Pig, on the other hand, very much on display.
Yeah, you definitely didn't want to see that at this point.
So we've seen it so far in this past, 75 minutes-ish. These two runners are pretty much neck and neck in almost every routing decision, every executional option, everything that's going on. They're part of one rather stacked group here in the Challenge Cup.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those groups. Every one of these races is going to be great. 4 great runners in here.
Now, 4 great players of pretty much equal talent that all pretty much know each other in one way, shape, or form. And that's one of the beauties of Challenge Cup is you get to see and play against old and new friends regardless of whether or not qualifiers went your way.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, everything being in there, it's the exact same experience one way or the other. It's great to see some of these groups when the Challenge Cup reveal went on were just dynamite. So it's going to be great to see how this tournament plays out along the way.
All right, so now having 5 crystals and no lead on where our big keys to Desert or Mire are. I gotta wonder what are we chasing if we are Dr. Earworm. Oh, he hasn't done Smith Chain yet.
Yeah, this is going to be Smith Chain from Dr. Earworm at this point, I would think.
You think he walks the chest down to get the Bombos tablet?
It's definitely got to be in his mind at this point. Otherwise, it's it's actually going to be longer to go back and flute and do it, or maybe it's the time wash. But if Dr. Earworm does go that way, do you think about going back into Swamp for that big chest?
I feel like if you're going down to the Bombos tablet with the purple chest, you kind of have to.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's no better time otherwise. Otherwise, it will be just absolute hard last location.
And let's be real here. If you've already done all of Swamp Palace but the big chest, you really don't want to go in from any position on the map.
Yeah, no. Definitely. Don't really want to go independent ice. Would rather not go into Mire till you find the cane. So yeah, the options are not great at this particular point.
Yeah, I'm definitely still thinking about that Ice Palace since it gave us the big key. It doesn't have to give us small keys to make the dungeon necessarily diggable.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one, Ruby. It just seems like that that big key is just looming. See, if I was on that side, I would rather do that than go into Caneless Mire at this point, anyway.
To make matters worse, that's caneless, big keyless mire. So even if the cane's in there, you're still talking about double dipping mire.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that. Definitely not something you want to do then. Zeke heading for the Swamp Big Chest at this point?
It sure looks that way, doesn't it? And actually, I don't have a problem with this at all, because if you're going to make a call to go either to mire or ice, from here is probably the best place to do it.
Yeah, and the game did eventually drop the key in your lap, so definitely worth a check. Dr. Irwin heading back the same direction. Both runners converging here on this play by the looks of it.
Yeah, the big difference here right now being the full clear of Thieves Town for Dr. Earworm, which again yielded only a logically required pot small on the green pendant. So that might be something, if Zeke never goes back to, could end up being his ace in the hole here. A little bit less time commitment saved.
Yeah, definitely some time back for Zeke if that happens to be something that Zeke doesn't do. Thieves Town not being a necessarily hard dungeon, but does take up some time.
And absolutely nothing in the Swamp Big Chest.
Definitely interesting this one, the way this one's playing out. Which way does Zeke take this?
Oh, this is going to be the Thieves Town play. How dare I say anything at all? Or is... No, he's going to read the pedestal.
This is a ped check.
This is a ped check. 100%. There's no reason you walk up in this direction with mitts unless you're going to read the ped.
It's not a bad call on Zeke's side. The game did give you all 3 big keys for the pendant dungeons already.
See, what could be on the pedestal? Desert big? Mire big? It's a desert small. It's logically required pedestal.
That's so funny.
Oh my goodness.
This seems not at all.
That's going to make Zeke go directly into Thieves Town.
Yeah, it's definitely going to push that way.
I mean, the writing was kind of on the wall too when the green pendant turned out to be logically required as well. And Royale has the perfect emote for this. Thanks, game.
Yeah, that's great. Right, Zeke heading in here to Thieves Town, going to clear out blind, get that green pendant. To answer a question in chat, what's on ped? The desert small key is on ped at this point.
And the logic will always ask you to have both the big and small key to desert to put Lambo on the table. And if something is going to be on pedestal, the game likes to route progression through the pendant dungeons. So we may see something, you don't necessarily need that desert small key, so to speak, unless it's hard gating an item on right side. Like your required big key to Mire or your Cane of Samaria or something. Speaking of Mire, check out what Dr. Earworm has in mind here.
Definitely, this is interesting. This is a spicy play, for lack of a better term here. Big keyless, caneless mire.
And not only that, but the logic's really not telling me, hey, I should go do this now. One key doesn't exactly lend to much in mire. And again, it's one of those dungeons where you don't really care how many keys you have if you can clear it. In the situation we're in, we need 2 additional items to even think about it.
Yeah, if you had all the small keys, maybe at this point, but it does seem a little early. I'd still, that Ice Palace big key is still just jumping out at me.
And that's the thing I'd be worried about the most. That Ice Palace big key, coupled with the knowledge of the Desert Small on Ped, would probably make me think I should rush pendants. And the only pendant I can clear after this Thieves' Town is Ice.
Yeah,
I don't think you complain about that, though.
No, that's that is a nice find.
So Doc might never actually find out that Desert Small is on pedestal unless he makes a special trip in that direction.
Yeah. Excuse me, yeah, at this point, it's got to be a special trip or nothing for Doc.
Yeah, because you've already cleaned up all of Vu. You've already done Thieves' Town. You've already done the North Dark World checks with the lone exception of King's Tomb. And this is where Key Sanity can really be a little bit of a feast or famine type of mode. Is you can completely disregard logic and find everything you need to clean up a seed, or you can miss one logical tell and it unravels your entire seed.
Yeah, definitely. Break logic a little bit as well, forget something, and do a whole bunch of extra things that you never needed to do. Doc finding a 3rd bottle here in mire, so sword in a bottle. Some quality of life type stuff.
And a shirt. So even if we had to go fight Vidi right now, provided the next 2 checks are exactly what we're looking for, which the odds of that are infinitesimal, Vidi's not going to be much of a threat with a tempered sword and a red shirt.
No, definitely not.
Oof.
Oh, interesting.
If you could ask for any one thing, anything at all, to route you back towards a ped read, that was the one thing.
Yeah, definitely the only real item out there that's going to push Doc back in that direction.
Meanwhile, Zeke following up on this couple checks here that he left in the north side. At 14 hearts, I don't necessarily think you'd be too excited to see a piece of heart in Graveyard Ledge now.
No, 14 hearts, blue mail. Zeke's pretty comfortable at this point.
How much do you want to bet that's an ice small sitting on the Desert Torch?
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
And that is nothing sitting in Desert Palace that we can do just yet.
Yeah, it looks like Doc is heading back to the Village of Outcast direction, going to check that Skullwood's big chest, maybe Ped.
Yeah, and at this point, we're talking about a game of single checks. Any one check can open a bunch up. Probably a lot more than you really want to have to open up.
Yeah, Cane of Samaria would be something that they want to see to finish a dungeon, but also just don't want to see it because that opens up TR.
Yeah, right now that King of Samaria only opens up TR. Yes, it makes Ice Palace faster, but we can already clear all of Ice Palace without it. I'm going to get this bomb jump to get this check a little bit quicker here instead of going around the way the developers intended, and it is just a compass. And we'll see our runners trade places here a little bit. It's decision mode time for Dr. Earworm, and Zeke is going to go have a look at Desert and Mire. I'm pretty sure that all but confirms us, TJ, that we have progression in Ice Palace.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm not aware of anywhere else it can be at this point.
Let's see if Zeke gives Misery Mire the old Fade treatment, or if he dives in too.
Is Dr. Earworm heading over here to do what I think?
Oh, is he's gonna save Scum the Desert Small. And Zeke is already setting up to do the very same thing. What is happening? They want to know whether this small key is gating an item that we need.
It's pretty heads-up play on both sides here. Interesting to see what this does. Any guesses if there's progression over here, what it is?
My money is... Well, we know it can't be the Cane of Samaria. Would you believe Boots?
Boots wouldn't surprise me.
What if it's Desert Big blocked by Desert Small?
That would be great.
That'd be amazing, because that means you need to pull the pedestal to finish Desert no matter what.
That's even better.
Oh, no. All right, so Desert Small is strictly not required, albeit the game would ask you to go get it. So now...
Guess we're off to Ice Palace for something.
Yeah, we have last located Ice Palace. We do not know what waits for us within. It could be Desert Big. It could be Mire Big. Oh, God.
It could be
Please
Boots.
don't, game. Oh, Zeke's gonna go turn in the green pendant. This is a thanks game moment if you've ever seen one.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe a treat for Saha as well.
At that point, you don't even talk to the old man. You just leave.
Yeah, you just ignore him. Guess here we are, 90 minutes in, and runners converging on Ice Palace.
Literally steps away from each other. Pretty much the same things checked. Zeke hasn't been to Mire yet, so he's down a sword. That could come into play in a few moments here.
Yeah, definitely comfort level and maybe a slight bit of speed through here. Alright, Ice Palace, what do you have for us? Which way are you sending them?
It's also a question as to where in Ice Palace is what it's asking us to do. I can't help but sit here and shake my head at that key.
No, that's just awful.
Another thing that's going to make a little bit of a difference here is whether or not, well, not necessarily whether or not, but how comfortable are our runners doing the Ice Palace bomb jump?
Yeah, definitely not a thing that's, used extremely commonly anymore, but handy piece of tech out there.
Now, this is an ancient randomizer secret that was discovered before randomizer was a thing. That since the development of Icebreaker hasn't really been a thing of much note outside of the vanilla speedrun. Unless Kane's an Ice Palace, then it's like, oh, thanks, game.
Yep. Usually at that vanilla big key chest spot, just to make you really smile. Both runners through.
No small key, so a lot of backtracking to be done here, since we cannot just open this door right here and go straight to the H room.
Yeah, I have to go that the old-fashioned way.
I guess they both want to go up and around here, which honestly I don't mind this at all.
No, this is a heads-up play on both of them for knowing the way through the dungeon. You're gonna get that key, come back across.
It's definitely faster than going all the way down to Iced Tea. Actually, I think this is the only way you can do this right now. You're just cutting out the middle stop.
Oh, interesting. TR3.
I dare say we kind of expected to see that because, you know, that's why.
Of course. Of course. There it is.
That has, I'm having a reaction to that, and I'm pretty sure it's allergic.
Yeah, that's fair. That's whew. Never what you want to see. Opens up way too many realms possibilities now.
I mean, what it does is it says you can go all the way through TR except Trinex and Logic. Have fun! And just like that, this seed became painfully linear.
Yep, now it's time for our runners to play Follow the Leader. No surprise here, runner's just going to keep moving through. No point in getting out of here. Let's just get Iced Tea done as well.
Yeah, if you can full clear, you full clear. Especially if the last check you would coin toss for is Iced Tea. There's no reason to have to make a second trip for Ice Palace to do Iced Tea. Unless you feel like you absolutely have to put yourself in a bad spot like that.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, nice reward to go do it. Not required, but always welcome.
These 90s ice physics, everybody. Let's go. Alright, so we have a fight with a Cold Stare coming up, and a Tempered Sword and Half Magic Fire Rod for Dr. Earworm. Going to make that pretty much a done deal. Mostly going to be Half Magic Fire Rod for Zeke, as he's only on Master Sword. And right now sitting on little beep-de-beeps of HP, so a little bit of a scary moment here for Zeke.
Yeah, definitely not as comfortable of a fight. Doc over here taking down the puffs. No problem.
Not only that, really, but you're also pretty much going into this fight in one-hit KO. And knowing that that pendant's not required, Doc decides to utilize the not very frequently seen in boss rooms select button.
Yeah, and head to everybody's favorite pendant dungeon to be forced into.
But we've already cleared Pod.
No, the other one.
Oh, Swamp Palace?
Everybody likes Swamp Palace. What are you talking about?
Only crazy people like Swamp Palace, and you know it.
Yeah, I'm well aware.
Oh no.
Ooh.
I mean, luckily it didn't actually yield anything, so this is probably just going to be, well, I'm done in Ice Palace, I guess.
Yeah, if anything, it just pushes Zeke towards TR a little bit quicker.
Yeah, at that point, the only point in time where you feel bad about taking that death is if that ends up being your go mode.
Yeah, definitely. Then you would curse it a little bit, but at this point, going to push you on here, and hopefully TR is going to have all the answers and not make the runners dig further, but we'll find out. Not really a lot left to go after, though.
At this point, we're down to... I mean, the only fetch quests, so to speak, that you could really see at this point are the powder in the boots. Pardon my language here. The boots, a fetch quest, yes. Otherwise, we've seen pretty much everything to this point, haven't we?
Yeah, both runners have been pretty thorough and kind of just push them in each direction. Oh, there's the desert big.
And we're seeing a decision made on the screen, and then I think he thought better of it. I thought for a moment that we're going to see the spiciest decision to jump out of TR and go take care of the two checks in desert.
I thought Doc was going to make that play as well, so just went out and I was, wow, okay, this is a play here.
Yeah, I don't think you can leave until you've cleaned up Laser Bridge. Or, found the Mire Big, then you're just in go.
Yeah, exactly. Whichever comes first. So many items in here. It'd be really hard to make a call to get out of here.
Yeah, 12, 13, if you count the Mimic Cave check that we can mirror back for. We cannot currently do Trinax, unless the dungeon has its own fourth small key. And we could, but then we're leaving the lava check anyway.
Yeah, at this point, I'm sure we're going to see the runners just head right for Laser Bridge.
So not even a moment's hesitation for Zeke. Just dives right back in because he knows Desert Big on its own is more than likely not the answer. We are going to get this check from Dr. Earworm.
That's great.
Oh, that's amazing. I love it.
Well, the seeds definitely had it all, that's for sure. Kept the runners guessing.
Now, if I was in the shoes of our runners here, I would be a little bit worried about not being able to kill Trinax because I've burned that key. The fourth key's not here. And then I last locate my Mire Big on Trinax. That is the worst case scenario here.
Yeah, definitely. Wonder what play we'll see on Zeke's side.
And he is swiping this key.
Not a bad play. If you're gonna head to Laser Bridge, might as well, if you haven't found the Meyerbeeg, take down Trinex. Knowing what we know, it's not a bad option.
Yeah, and since, as chat's pointing out right now, since the seed is asking you to go pull Pedestal and Logic anyway, chances of, well, pretty much everything being in stray spots here. The worst you could have now is the game saying, okay, now double dip TR, which you kind of mitigate since, well, got yourself your big key. Got yourself a stolen key. Go straight to Trinex.
Yeah, it definitely makes good sense that way. Just keep moving on through.
And honestly, I would probably be more apt to do Trinex before the lava chest anyway, as a direct result of this. Knowing the game wants me to pull Ped, that means the 4th TR key has to be available somewhere. And probably behind that Desert Big, is what I would guess at this point.
Yeah, or behind the boots, one of the ones that we've seen on the torches, or the library.
And boots could be on Laser Bridge. Ooh.
Doc's going to show us here in a few seconds what's hiding down there.
There's the 4th key.
Wow.
Oh, this game, I'm telling you. Here we go. It's not here. And I would call this getting bailed out for Dr. Earworm.
Yeah, definitely. Now can take down Trinex.
It doesn't exactly put a lot of places for our Meyerbeeg now, does it?
No. Boots on Trinex could hide it. Trinex could just have it. Could be on land mode at this point. Not a lot.
Now, of course, we'll see once again where this sword advantage really comes to play. The Tempered Sword on Trinex is going to do quite a bit more work than that Master Sword would for Zeke. So Zeke is going to mirror back and get this lava chest item. Woof. I mean, if you don't do this now, you're never doing it, but you still never want to have to make this call.
Yeah, no, that's a tough call to make. For sure.
Oh my goodness, Desert Big Chest is the answer.
Wow.
Desert Big Key was right here in the front of Turtle Rock, in the roller room, right hand side, in the left chest.
Yeah, the seeds definitely had some interesting stuff going on here, that's for sure.
And giving that ABCD is definitely a thing here. I would imagine Zeke is probably going to go directly to Desert, not even bother with Misery Mire until he's got the big key. And that means Zeke is going to be down a sword. And that is going to continue to make an advantage for Dr. Earworm as we get down to the last moments here.
Yeah, definitely that dipping Mire without anything, that sword advantage is going to probably play a little bit heavier than it would in most races. So that's, as you said, something to note.
And not even just in the long run. Right now, Zeke is pretty much going to be pushed into doing a Hammer Trinex.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a slower option, and see where that started.
Well, we're going to see Master Sword strats instead, which means we'll probably see an icy floor. And that is going to be the big key to Hera.
Wow.
Oh no. That's terrible.
I think I'm enjoying this seed a little bit more than our runners are, that's for sure.
I mean, it's always a blast for anyone spectating. But being runners ourselves, you in main tournament, me down here in Challenge Cup, you gotta sympathize a little bit for what this game is throwing at our players here.
Oh, definitely. This is one of those seeds where you don't know if you want to yell about it or just at this point laugh, because what else could it possibly throw at you?
It could throw at you required Hera Big Chest. Oh no.
Wow. This just keeps getting better.
Remember earlier when I said, you never know, Hera could end up being your logical go mode. By the transitive property, it kind of directly is in this case.
Definitely.
Because now you got to go back up to Tower of Hera, go back to the big chest, last locate your Meyer big key, or your boots. We still have powder that we haven't seen checked either. That could be it, actually.
Yeah, definitely. At this point, there's it's got to be one of these things. I'm definitely interested to see what this Hera Big Chest is. Zeke moving on through here, grab the key, head back to Landmo. Get the news that that Hera Big Chest is now a thing.
And to be completely fair, was it ever not a thing?
This is true, logically required and all.
And at 1:50 and 19 seconds, Dr. Earworm was the first of our runners in go mode.
Yeah, just a trip through Misery Mire and then that classic dig in GT.
Herapot Punish. You say never punished. I don't believe it.
No.
Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing for Mr. Highwind here. He hasn't dug Mire yet.
Yeah. Definitely haven't been in there yet. We'll get that sword, but it's all just time at this point.
Yeah, this is absolutely just density calling.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of confirmation bias in this too, because how many seeds have you played where the Mire big key's just in Mire? Come on now.
Yeah, plenty of them.
It's like you see the pod big key in pod, it's like, wow, thanks, game. That's what I wanted for Christmas.
Yeah, definitely. I chose to play a key sanity seed because I didn't want this here.
On a little more positive note, this is going to yield Zeke a red mail and a tempered sword. So, behind or not, Zeke's going to be a lot more comfortable in the end game than he is on his current equipment.
Yeah, definitely. Seeing it through, you know, probably going to say a little bit of wish I had that for Trinex a lot just before this, but you know, as well as digging for silvers, pulling them out of Ice Palace. This is a lot more comfortable than Vitreous fight on Dockside, and will be for Zeke as well.
Yeah, you're always happy to see silver arrows before going to Vitreous. You're not happy to see silver arrows drop from Vitreous. Or, you know, if you don't have a bow at all, you know.
Yeah, then you just really don't want to see Vitreous until you have to.
Although I could make a case. If you're going to Vitreous with no bow, then you're probably either very well equipped to do it in the first place, or you are the modern day Link to the Past Evel Knievel.
Daredevil strats.
Ever do a swordless Vidi? Not because you have to,
Yeah.
but because you can.
Yeah. It didn't go well, but I tried.
Right, we're going to see Vitreous become blinded 9 times from this bow and silver arrows, and then take 2 to the big eye. That bottle percent, by the way. I think we caught that earlier, right?
Definitely noticed it was 3.
That just means the last bottle is in GT. Speaking of GT, in this form of Key Sanity, the GT Big Key is in its own dungeon. So, where do you think that's going to turn out?
I always say 13, but how about yourself?
I never picked the same check twice. Oh, that skull was big, that's right. Give Zeke more things to dig at. That's terrible, game. I don't necessarily have any one number. Like, some people are like, I always pick number. Like, Wolfie in chat will almost always say 1. I don't pick the same number twice in a row, ever.
That's a good way to do it. I like that. I don't know. I always rotate usually back. More nowadays it's been 13, but it used to be between 13 and 8 constantly.
I'd be more apt to believe that it's probably just sitting in, like, 15. Considering how much we've had to think about on this entire seed, and the game giving us all 4 GT smalls.
Yeah, definitely just anywhere in here, but I'm more inclined to think like you are as well, that it's probably just somewhere midway along the way.
Well, kind of midway in either path, to be honest with you. But you never know, it could just be sitting on the torch, and we have to go looking for our boots.
At least at this point, they gotta be in GT.
Strictly speaking, unless they're in the big chest of mire.
No, Doc checked that on the way through. So
Okay, good. He did the, I don't want to get screwed by this check.
yeah, get piece of heart for the trouble, but at least you know.
Is the 1 in 23 shot that you orphan boots somewhere. Oh no. Alrighty. Dr. Earworm will enter Ganon's tower just about 1:56 and 20 seconds or so. And Zeke is, admiring the bad news that Hera Big Chest does in fact exist.
Yeah, definitely. And, praising and maybe a little bit at this point disliking Herapod all at the same time.
Gonna see a hope and full left here probably. And it's not on the torch, so the game's just like, I hid the boots and you're never gonna find them.
They're going to be in one of the chests you never open.
to be the chest right after the GT big key, right?
Yeah. Hoping if it's in a 4 room, at least it's you're thorough with it. Hey, there's Cape.
Cape's kind of nice with half magic. If you don't get the 1-on-1 or you don't have consistent 1-on-1 strats, that Cape allows you to just completely bypass phase 2.
Yeah, it turns, I mean, with this equipment, it kind of already is, but it really turns again and fight into a formality.
Question is, what kind of lunatic or group of lunatics believe in validation chest boots? I don't know. I was a believer in my league cross keys race, in the in my ultimate race against Radical Sniper last season. So it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone.
Yeah, and of course, you know, there is a group of them out there that, you know, join the league and definitely make sure that that's what they think in their team name.
All in good fun in the end, right? And oh. Oh, wow. Comfort, City, and Randomizer Room have at you. Gold sword and a pair of boots? Don't mind if I do.
Especially at this point, an hour 58, hour 59 in. May as well have boots to make the last little bit faster.
Yeah, you get to save all of like 5 seconds on the seat having boots. Thanks, game. Don't dash out of protest.
That's great.
I love it.
Next time someone plays a Kaz boot seed, just don't dash.
Alright, so we're all the way down to Ice Armos now, and no big key to be had just yet.
And still not.
Well, it looks like Hope Hard Left is not the answer here. Which means it's either... Oh, jeez. It's either in Compass Room, or it's in the one place you never want to look.
Yeah. At this point, if you dock, do you just stop and check with the 4 keys? Or do you just move on through? Looks like moving on through.
You definitely don't stop for Tile Room. There's no way you stop for Tile Room. Alright, Zeke is going to obtain his 7th crystal. He'll be joining us in Ganon's Tower in just a moment. And the heart number 17, and there it finally is at last, sitting in Compass Room. Yeah, now with Zeke entering GT, but Dr. Earworm is also just getting involved in the climb here. Even if Zeke beelines straight to Compass Room, there's some ground to be made up now.
Yeah, it would definitely be one of those things where you need every random thing to move kind of in your way and make up some time.
Not to mention, even if he goes and gets straight to that key, he's going to miss out on boots, so that's movement disadvantage. Boots definitely make this gauntlet a little bit nicer to deal with.
Yeah, especially with the longer straight stretches that you can just through. Laser Eye Bridge comes to mind. Doc just moving through the gauntlet here. Gold sword, 17 hearts, red mail, half magic. What more could you ask for?
The only thing you could ask for is just a little extra HP here. We do not have powder, so if you take a beating on your way up, there's no way to get that HP back. Except for one little thing we've seen him doing, and that is taking good advantage of the stun prize. It really took me way too long to figure out what to call it.
It's okay. It's been a couple hours. That's fair.
And Zeke is going to go straight to the right side of GT.
Oh no.
No. Wall Masters are probably one of the most evil mobs in this entire game, right up there with Beamos and Dead Rocks.
Yep.
And that is... Oh no. That is going to put Zeke away from his big key.
Yeah, that's not going to feel great, you know, once Zeke has the awareness. Wallmaster says go get the boots first. That's fair.
Wallmaster's like, you can't outrun me till you got a pair of running shoes. And Doc, done with the climb, just has to deal with this version of the Trolldorm, which with a gold sword is no problem at all, really.
Yeah, kind of blink and you miss him.
Miss what? I blinked.
Nothing, don't worry about it.
Okay. And I believe that means there's only one boss fight left for Doc to have to tally with before facing off with the big pig.
Yeah, we're about to test Doc's knowledge of agonometry here.
So Castle Tower is Agonometry 101. Is this a 200 level course? Or do you just get thrown right into 300 since there's now 3 of them?
I think it's 300. There's 3 of them.
That is a rude spot for Aghanim to spit a blue ball at you.
Yeah, definitely an awful spot for him to do that. But there we go, egging him down. We just have a pig fight left.
Linear algebra. How's that? Well, what else would you call him? He's the math wizard. He makes you fight with angles and stuff. Algenheim. Alrighty. Gold Sword is basically a free 1-on-1 on Ganon, so we are going to see that for Dr. Earworm taken care of. Red Mail for a little extra safety. You can literally just stand in there and just get pummeled by fire bats, and you're still okay at 17 hearts.
Yeah, it definitely takes all the actual really hard gameplay, besides avoiding falling off the ledge out of it here with the equipment on Doc's side.
Yeah, the real icing on the cake is those silvers were basically on our path no matter what here, so phase 4? More like Big Snore.
Yeah, definitely just line up Ganon here.
And this should be that last arrow that defeats Ganon. to stand up at the bridge and be like, well, thank God that's over.
Yeah, commit the seed to out of your memory and just move on.
Let's see some GGs for Dr. Earworm, who is going to finish in first place overall with a 207.23. And as we will see just momentarily, Zeke's got his big key and says, well, it was this close, I don't feel like climbing now. And I believe that would be the voice of Zeke Highwind, and also Dr. Earworm is here joining us.
GG, Zeke.
GG, Doc.
Well, what were your thoughts on that one?
No, thank you.
Yeah, hard pass.
I'd like that seed thrown into the nearest sun. And by that I mean, hey Doc, should we throw it at our friends?
No.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, I mean, Ruby, you're disqualified because you've watched it, but we're giving it to someone for sure.
I thought you were going to disqualify me for a different reason. Are you? Oh, don't you dare. I know exactly what you're planning.
Someone will enjoy it.
Chad is reading your mind, Dr. Earworm. Our tracker has a perfect candidate for this seed.
Unfortunately, I think said person probably watched this race.
More than likely. I think she did.
Yeah, I think she woke up a little bit, and according to her Discord, she woke up and checked it out. So, not sure if she'll be eligible.
That just means you give it to the other player that's in this group that would probably enjoy it quite a bit.
That's who I thought was going to be watching this already, but
anyway, yeah, nice boots.
Oh my god, Zeke, I felt so bad when you got wall mastered on right side GT, dude.
Ad movement happens. I'm not used to doing that room bootless.
And of course, the final insult was pulling the big key off of Landmo, and well, okay, I guess I'm going up the mountain again.
That was the Skullwood's big key, wasn't it?
No, it was Tower of Hera, because I'd already checked.
Right.
Yeah, Skullwood's big, and literally Hera Basement was my hard last location.
I did Hera Basement when I went up to check Ether. Made sense.
Sorry, not Hera Basement, Hera Big Chest.
I mean, I saw Cold Stare, so.
Oh, that's right. You hugged Cold Stare.
Can I give some advice about that?
Don't do it.
Don't.
Yeah. Don't.
He may look fluffy and adorable, but those hugs burn.
I mean, I dropped in on 2 hearts. I was asking for it.
Yeah, that's rough.
There were some moments in that Ice Palace I was like, oh gosh, Zeke, please.
Yeah, and TR, right, of course, is I the whole time I was going through TR, I was telling myself I should be bailing. But at least I won't have to fight Trinex because I'm spending the key on Lava Chest, and then the 4th small key pops up. It was I don't know. I like Key Sanity because you can kind of get a sense of where the game wants you to go. And I was really happy with my routing up until, and Zeke and I were talking about this, I was really happy with my routing up through, and Zeke sort of cut me off and went, let me guess. Desert Big, Meyer Big, and Cane of Samaria. Yep.
None of those were in good places. I mean, who doesn't like Ice Palace, Big Key Chest, Cane of Samaria?
I was going to say, I know of at least a few people who would probably have choice words for that check.
Starting with me.
I'll raise my hand.
I was stunned there was nothing in Purple Chest because 3 out of the last 5 seeds I've either watched or raced have had Hammer in Purple Chest. So I was a little stunned to see just a bee in a bottle there. Yeah, I don't know that there's too much else to say about this seed. We cleared the whole world, right? It's
oh yeah,
over
and
now.
it was a lot
It
of
was
head seed.
Oh yeah, logically ped. Yeah.
So shoutouts to Pedestal.
Shoutouts to you two both making the save scum of the desert small at the same time, almost in perfect sync.
Nice. And then going on to fight all the pendant bosses anyway.
I mean, I save and quit out of Trinex Pendant.
Oh yeah, I save and quit out of cold, and I just got the items and bailed.
Where? GG Doc. 3-0 now, huh?
Yeah, stunningly.
Now you just got to do it. Now you just got to do it to the group all over again.
I don't know. Yeah, it's I don't get to. So I've also rolled all 3 seeds that I've played so far, and so y'all will be rolling the.
I'm not making that mistake again.
Yeah. I've rolled
twice shy.
I've rolled 2 out of the 3 group matches I've played so far have been logical ped seeds, and one of them was ped hard required.
Yeah, because wasn't you and home TR Big Key?
Yes, which also, by the way, that hint tricked me, and I thought it was the pod big, and then I, thank God, found the pod big in pod, and was confused for a moment, and then realized my mistake. But anyway.
But yeah, I'm not going to give you an easy one next time.
No, I'm looking forward to it. Bring it on. This was super close.
Can we get some inverted on Sunday?
I really want inverted. I please no. I've had one of. I haven't had any duplicates yet, so I'm looking forward to inverted, and not so looking forward to.
Wait, you haven't had any duplicates? Didn't you play keys with home?
Oh wait, yes, I have. I take it back. This was a duplicate. Okay, never mind. So I haven't. What do I have left? Inverted and tournament hard and McBoss. Right. Okay.
Well, at least you get to play inverted.
None of us want. Okay, if Iron Gamer and Homer in chat, I'd like us all to speak up. Does anybody want to play qualifier mode again?
No, I'm good.
I mean, 4 or 5 races just to try to qualify—that's plenty, I think.
But again, GG Doc. So I guess we'll see what happens on Sunday afternoon, won't we?
Yeah, GG's, and thanks so much to Ricky for broadcasting, and Royale for tracking, and of course TJ and Ruby for the comms. Thanks so much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you both for the great show. It was fun to watch, especially with all the curveballs and all the funny things that seed had going on.
I wish you'd had my webcam captured on Restream when I picked up that Tower of Parabig. It was that broke my brain.
I can only imagine. Make sure you're following these 2 runners, by the way.
TJ, you saying that earlier about the funny things. There's a reason that my friends and I have been calling this funny keys.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. It's always got jokes.
And Ruby can confirm, we are calling it funny keys.
Maybe you are.
All right, we good to wrap up?
I believe so.
Yeah, thanks so much.
All right, thank you. So I want to say thank you again to Zeke and Dr. Airworm. Did a fantastic job racing that. Very fun to watch. And thank you to Zeruvian and TJ Joel for commentating. And thank you to Royale with Cheese for tracking. Awesome job, everybody. Coming up tomorrow, Tuesday, 3:10 Eastern Time, we have another Challenge Cup match between Kefka and Zeruvian. At 8 p.m. Eastern, we have a Zelda 2 randomizer Max Randall tournament match. Winners bracket finals between Trail Zed versus BKPKT Patrick. And then on Wednesday at 2:10 a.m., that is a.m., which means before midnight on Tuesday night, we have a Skyward Sword randomizer co-op tournament match between British Stargate and TWSITD. And yeah, that's going to do it for Tuesday. That's going to do it for us today. Hope you all had a great time watching, everybody, and have a fantastic rest of your night. Bye!